afternoon. Today is tax day, April 15th. This is a CPC meeting to go over a couple projects and request for funding. So before we get started, we'll go around the table, introduce ourselves. We'll start here on to my right.
My name is Richard Mercier. I live in Acushnet. I was born and raised here.
I'm Heidi Pelletier, representing the Conservation Commission.
Chad Leclerc, Park and Rec.
Kathy Murray, member at large.
All right, before we get fully started, let's see the Pledge of Allegiance. Not sure where we're gonna aim. There's one over there. We'll go to the right. I'm gonna turn my back. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Here we are. One last member has arrived.
Sorry, I missed the pledge.
Caught the end of it.
Hi, Jesse.
Hey, guys.
Jesse. All right, Jesse has joined us, so we're just about to get started. So first on the agenda, we're going to go with the Historical Commission, and we will hear Pauline and what she has to say.
Okay. Well, several years ago, we had the museum painted by the Sheriff's Department, and I understand now they don't have a work crew anymore. So, and when they did it, they did the three sides, they never finished the back. So the back was supposed to get finished with the building department and the kids, which never happened. So we need to do the entire back of the building. It's peeling, and they're gonna really have to work on the back. I got the estimate here from DeRoche Brothers, explaining everything about it, and including the paint, which they will purchase. The only thing I am concerned with is if they do find any raw material, it's going to be an extra cost, which right now I don't know if there is or not. Okay, but the whole entire back of the building has to be done. It's too far gone now. The rest of the building is in pretty good shape. I mean, I saw a couple of spots where it was peeling, may need touching up, and I don't know if they will do that for me. I had asked them originally to check the whole building if it needed touching up. So, but this is the cost that I've got. They will do the same color paint. In fact, I got the color charts for it, so I'm giving them the colors and they'll order the paint. But this is really necessary. If I could get the Sheriff's Department again, it would be better, but from what I understand, they no longer do the program.
What's the plan if there is damage to the wood, though? We're gonna have to hold off and be looking for additional funds? Do you have funds in other areas?
I may have some funds in my budget, to cover that. Pretty much everything else is included. The other thing right now is I had a problem there when we had that very serious rainstorm a few weeks ago. I got leakage into the basement again. So we had to have the north wall and the east wall all repaired. So now the entire basement has been repaired by the mason. He did a good job. I haven't had a speck of water since. And that's a relief, because when we get water in there, we get at least 2 inches. And there's no sump pump, which, we never wanted to talk about that. That's a big job. But the furnace is set down into a hole. So where it rains, when it comes in, it's on the flat, and we gotta catch it before it goes down into the furnace. So we watch it very closely, but now it's repaired, so that should be all set.
Good.
It's an old building, and we can add it as best we can,
Any other questions, any follow-ups?
Yeah, so just a couple questions for you, Pauline. So the estimate that we have here, the $5,830,
Right.
That's to cover all of the work within the scope of the estimate only. It doesn't include any additional offset for potential rot repair
Right.
or anything like
I would
that.
have to take that out of my budget
Right, yeah.
if it does go over.
Yeah, that was essentially my concern, was if they do uncover spots that need significant repairs, obviously this wouldn't have enough money in the request to cover that cost.
Right.
The other question I have is, did you have any secondary quotes pulled? I know.
No, because I'm having a difficult time trying to get contractors out there to give me prices. I approached 3. I only got this one back.
Okay.
Did Joel give you any guarantees on like how long this quote would be good for, just in case you have to go to a repair and then him come back? Will it change the price, or is he pretty good with this?
I'm pretty good with the price the way it is, and I'm going to talk to them to see, he'll get out there this summer, when it's warmer. I think one of his brothers is the painter, so it's not pulling a whole crew
Yeah,
away.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's got his own crew. But I'm sure they will tackle this, because I stay on top of them anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess what I would say is, obviously, if they get the paint stripped and sanded and they find damage after that, it's not like they can just leave it
No,
until they can come back and you can do another funds
No.
request. They'd have to take care of it in the
they would
moment.
have to repair it.
So, I mean, I can't imagine that there would be extensive damage, but you never know.
You never
I
know.
mean, if they're comfortable doing some of that work up front, and they know you're going to be good for it, and if you needed to, they could always bill you, and then you could pay after the fact. I don't really see any issue with it.
They
That
could probably
being the case.
repair it and just not paint it yet until they get the funds to the painting part.
Yeah.
Maybe use some of this funds to fix it, and then depends. I mean, obviously,
way or
Is it
they're a
possible,
big enough company.
is it possible for somebody to go out there and just maybe take a look at the back of the building
It's
to see
very
if
hard
there's
to
any
tell,
rot?
Richard, because the building is so tall.
Yeah.
It's so hard to tell, because the patio in the back where we have the apple peach, they replaced that roof last year, thanks to you people. And, but you really can't see all the back walls.
So you won't know if there's any repairs to be done to the
Until they
building
start
until they
working
start
on it.
painting.
Stop working on it.
Well, I mean, if you're confident that you'd be able to source the funds for, reasonable amounts of repair work if needed yourself,
Yeah.
then I don't really see any issue with moving forward with the funding request for the base, painting and sanding and other work that goes into it. What do you guys think?
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
Yeah, just might have to be delayed a little bit depending on what happens. That's all.
Yeah.
When is the apple peach, the date?
September 6th and 7th.
So it's all summer.
I would like to get this done
Well, I
hopefully in
understand
June,
that.
July,
Yeah.
when all the weather's still good.
Especially if there's rotten wood, you don't want it to go too far.
No,
Yeah.
no.
With the wet season come around, and
Yeah.
Did he say when they think they'd be able to tackle the work?
No, that I don't know.
Okay.
Another thing I'm just thinking about too, all the corner boards on that building, those were all replaced a few years ago.
Oh, okay.
So they've got fresh paint on them, so I know there's no rot there.
Yeah, and that's usually where you're gonna
Yeah.
run
Yeah.
into the most problems, is at the seams in the corners. All right,
Yeah.
that makes me feel a little better.
Yeah.
All right. Do we have a motion then to approve the historical commission's request?
I'll make a motion to approve it.
A second?
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
So moved.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pauline.
All right, so we're gonna skip over the park department one for now. I can address that at the end. We'll jump over to Russell Memorial and Mr. Jamie Kelly.
Hi, Mr. Kelly. How are you today?
How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad.
All right. In our effort to dispose of the old library, we have a vote in the past to allow the selectmen to market it. We cannot market it until we remove the memorials that are up in front. The removal of the memorials includes building a pad to put the memorial on where we relocate it. Right now, we're looking at by parting ways. It's 14 pieces and one memorial. The other one is a lot smaller, where whoever moves it has to do it with a large crane. So there's going to be some ancillary costs, like we will most likely try to do it on a day that results in less traffic tie-up, which means probably double time for the detail, etc. It's an estimate because of when we start, there could be other issues. And so worst case scenario is what you got.
Okay. So I presume that the town doesn't have a small crane in its possession. We'd have to contract that out,
No, we don't.
right? Yeah,
I wish,
that'd be nice, right?
right?
I don't,
Have we-
what I understand, it's not gonna be small.
Okay, okay. So, when we had gotten some quote work done for it in the past, was any other third party approached about that aspect of the project?
We had people start quotes at 30,000 when they went to look at it and realized what they had to do. It quickly climbed because everybody realized that they're going to have to, whatever monument company does it, is going to have to either subcontract, or if they have someone who can actually operate it, which I doubt, then to either that or rent a crane. So most likely they're going to be subcontracting that work
Yeah, they need an operator, right?
and bring it up and then reset it.
Once that is completed, is there any kind of timeline or amount that that library is going to be sold for?
That, we haven't got to that point. Has to be appraisals and everything else.
So there's no timeline whatsoever. I mean, why I'm saying that is it seems like building's been there, been empty for 30 years, 40 years?
I have no idea.
Well,
I had to, when I got here, I heard there was 5 or 6 plans in the past that have all tried to do various reuses for it, and it's none of them can come through. You've got no parking there, and now it's a no entry building as far as the fire department's concerned.
Yeah.
And so once it's done, then you get an appraisal, you put it out, and the town then disposes of it.
Yeah, it's my understanding that it's a fairly difficult building to reuse because there's limited accessibility, because the main entrance is on the second floor of those sets of steps, and you need either an elevator or a lift.
Memorials, 14 pieces.
Yeah.
Some of them are, I guess, are not even evident unless you actually go in and really almost with a magnifying glass look at where the joints are.
Yeah.
does anybody know when that monument was put in there?
I have no idea.
Couldn't say.
And we can't do anything moving forward with the memorial, Russell Memorial, right, if we don't move this, so.
Well, we can't market the building.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Because after we get the memorials moved and we get the time capsule taken out, then the time capsule can be given to our library now. And
Well, maybe somebody left us $60,000 in the time capsule, we'll be all right.
I hope it's in gold.
Couple of rookie baseball.
Otherwise-
Come on now.
Some crypto, they knew ahead of time.
Exactly.
Any other questions?
I just want to, being the admin person,
Of
I
course.
just want to say that, you know, obviously this is a project that needs to be done, but the committee has to have a certain standard where you're going to come in and ask for 60 grand. There should be some backup paperwork. That's just my point. I mean, some type of quote, some type of plan, this is what we're going to do. that's just me. I work with this all day long, so.
I'm getting it as I can get it.
Of course.
Right, I understand that.
And
but-
I'm doing it on the way out the door.
Yeah.
And
Of
if you don't want to do it, don't do
I
it.
didn't say-
And
I-
maybe the next person in my job
I
will
didn't say
take
that.
10
I didn't
years
say
to
it's not a
market
worthy
that.
project that needs to be done, but, you know, the paperwork should be there as well. That's my only.
Yeah, I think that.
Yeah, well, I also need a balanced budget, which I haven't got that.
No, I think too, is still trying to make calls and still trying to get, from my conversation too, some of it was just like, there is a variation of pricing. And I
You're
think this is
begging
kind of in-
people to do
Right, and this is kind of
job.
almost in the middle to some degree. Like I said, I think some people are overpriced, obviously. But no, I do agree too. It's a lot of money to not have
At least a
official
narrative.
documentation, but I think that'll eventually come at some point.
Well, you're going
But-
to need all that.
Right,
Yeah.
And it's not like the money, if it's not spent, goes somewhere else.
right,
Right. Yeah.
It just goes right back into undesignated.
right.
Your real problem is trying to find someone who actually do the job.
Right.
Mhm.
And you're not even close yet of that. You've got people who are interested in the job,
Yeah,
but no one who really wants to do it.
yeah.
Mhm.
And without it, you're stuck with that building, and if it burns, it'll burn to the ground.
Well, it doesn't look like it's got many years left anyway, the way it's deteriorated. If the roof gives away, it's done. The water gets in there.
Oh, the water's already in there.
Oh,
You've had ceilings and floors collapse.
wow.
So in other words,
You're just hoping the shell's savable.
that's what they're selling eventually is the shell.
Mm-hmm.
Now, does the town own that building outright?
Yes.
So there's no mortgage on that building or no payments that have to be made to clear it?
Oh, that building was built, as I understand it,
1930.
as a donation.
Any further questions? All right, do we have a motion to accept this proposal, this project? Obviously of moving, I mean, specifically, it's moving this monument, so
Moving the two
the
monuments.
two monuments to parting ways,
Or,
or if not there, somewhere else, but.
yeah, it's a town property.
Yeah.
Because until you move them, you can't sell it.
Yeah, I mean, I would say realistically, before we get to a motion, if we give approval for, at this point, up to $60,000 worth of CPC funds, and the actual work ends up, overshooting, obviously the town is gonna have to find funding elsewhere, or it's gonna have to come up for another vote
Yeah.
for additional funds.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we'll end up, I guess
We're gonna end up
plan
seeing
would be,
this
we're
again.
gonna need to see paperwork
Yeah, I mean,
before
we're-
it goes forward, but I
Yeah,
mean,
we're gonna end up seeing.
it's gonna be a
it
while, I'm
but,
assuming.
You're gonna have to go through the whole procurement.
Yeah, it's still gonna have to go up for vote at town meeting, I'm sure.
This is just like passing an article.
Mm-hmm.
You just pass the article. And
And
then,
best case, we're looking at 2026
Yeah, no problem.
anyway.
Yeah.
So we're definitely going to see it again. But I think to Jamie's point, if nothing happens with it before Jamie is, no longer with the town, the likelihood of anything happening, especially with this being I would probably call this a relatively low priority from a town administration standpoint. The likelihood of us seeing it anytime soon is probably slim to none. And by that point, the roof could have fully collapsed and then we're just stuck. I'd hate to see the building deteriorate to the point that it is not marketable regardless of whether the monuments are on site, in which case it just turns into a huge financial burden to the town to either demolish, which they can't do until the monuments are moved anyway,
yeah,
or
we're paying
pay for
insurance on it
purposes.
right now.
yeah,
How much?
I don't know the exact amount because,
Ballpark?
probably 10 grand. Close to that, because it's a vacant building.
Just make everything nice.
There you go. Just demolish the building and keep the monuments there.
Or just fix the roof and everything, it's just a nice monument thing. Yeah, I mean.
And if you sold it for another use and someone bought it, before you could transfer it, you're still gonna have to move the monuments.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you can't sell it with them there.
Mhm. Yeah, I think that if we recommend using the funds towards this project, there's still so many additional steps it's gonna have to go through to actually get, greenlit and move forward. I personally don't have any concerns about this being a worthwhile use of CPC funds. I mean, frankly, this is
What's that?
exactly what it's there for. While I do agree with Kathy that having some more formal quotes or some more formal documentation would be good, I think that we're probably gonna be in this ballpark or even above it regardless.
Yeah, it's good to
Given
kind
the
of
scope of
set that money aside, so it's not used
Yeah.
for something else, so that even if that's a small portion of
Yeah.
what they need,
Mhm.
and then if we need more money, obviously, for it, then that's when we gotta make sure we have paperwork to back it all up, because we're already,
Yeah.
if we're gonna already approve this, and it's gonna be more money, I would have to agree with that.
Keep the ball rolling.
Yeah, exactly. If things stall out, then we could be
Yeah, with the
5 or 10
paperwork.
years.
Yeah, with the paperwork.
With
Yeah,
Right,
I
with-
mean,
yeah.
ultimately,
It has-
anything
I
that
wouldn't
goes to
fly
town
where I
meeting.
work.
No.
It has to go through procurement before you can even sign anybody to do it.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, this is gonna end up having to go through finance committee, it's gonna have to go through select board,
All right,
presumably have to go to town
But-
meeting,
but
like,
it's
there's
a
a lot of
set-aside.
steps in the process, but this is basically gonna earmark some of that money and just note that, we do think it's a wise use of CPC funds.
Is it possible to put the cost of moving the monuments on the person or persons that they resell
I don't
sell the
think-
building?
I don't think you'll get any, for that building, I don't think you'll get anything other than the value of the real estate.
Yeah.
It's gonna be lively.
Mhm.
Okay.
all right,
Seems like a no-brainer.
Yeah, I'd be comfortable moving forward.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, do we have a
Okay.
motion? Or any other questions?
I'd make a motion to accept the proposal and move it forward in the procurement process.
Well said. I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, so moved. All right, Jamie, you're up for number 2, I guess. This will be
Administration.
Administration.
As you know, 2 years ago, this started with the accountant that said we had to provide this amount of money under the administration heading. I don't think we've ever spent any real amount of money under it, but every year we have to do it. And then after that year, it goes into the undesignated pool. So, on advice of accountant.
Yeah. And basically what we're looking at here is just a line item that's going to utilize CPC funding to manage the administration of the committee itself and its activities, right?
Yeah,
More or less.
and it's, I guess, part of the regulations
Yeah,
from
that's right.
DOR.
Right, exactly.
You've never come anywhere near.
Right. Right. Yeah, I mean, this one's kind of a routine
Yeah, so.
matter. I mean, we need to approve it if we're gonna have a CPC. So, yeah.
All right, so quick motion?
Yeah, I'd make a motion to accept the proposal
I'll
for
second.
CPC
All in favor?
administration funding.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any objections?
All right,
All right.
so the article will have, if you approve the next one, 4 items. Correct, you've got 1 park or
Yeah, we're gonna do the park one next, and yeah.
I'm just thinking about setting up the table, so there'll be 4 items
Yeah,
in the table for the article.
yes.
All right, good.
As long as we approve the next one.
I don't know that.
Yeah, guys. No, so the last one, I spoke to Jamie also about a little bit. Not sure how many people follow budgets and things of that nature, but our park and rec budget is not very big, so anytime we need repairs and things to be done around the park, unfortunately, this is usually where we look, because I have only so much to take out of for materials and such. I had somebody come out this past week. They haven't given me the exact quote yet, but they're gonna give me 3 different levels of quotes to, we had the DPW send somebody out to fill some cracks in the basketball courts, and when they did that, they sealed the entire court black. So we have no lines in the basketball courts. I've had people call and say, hey, we have no lines, what's going on? I was gonna try to do it a little bit more extravagant painting, but when I got there, some of the cracks are already starting to seep back in and so forth. So I said, well, what is it gonna cost to just get white lines painted over the ones that were there? We do need a new rim or 2 and things like that. So he's gonna give me a quote on a few of those. One of the steps on one of the buildings there has been up for a while, it's starting to fall apart, some moldings in some of the buildings that are there. So a lot of this is just repairs throughout the park that we just need to get done. So I was asking for 10,000 to get that painted and move forward with some of these projects for the park and rec.
Yep, this is all for Pope Park, right?
All for Pope Park,
All
yes.
for Pope Park.
I like that.
Yeah.
So, not trying to ask for too much right now, but we have, we gotta try to ask for some things so we can get a few different things done. So.
We can't lose the park.
No, it's become a huge attraction. We've got a lot of people asking to do things there. St. Francis now uses it for field days and different things that they do too. It's good, but it's nice to have some of the other stuff upgraded. So this is just a smaller part. Bigger plans, but that's for another day. So.
So you said a replacement of steps, that's at some of the outbuildings at the park?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we got one for the main scores booth that the big field has. It's been up there for a while, so.
Okay. And moldings in the same buildings?
Yes, same buildings, the garage, a couple facings on some of the dugouts, for sure. And then, and even our electrical building over near the basketball court as well.
Okay.
And then depending, like I said, on where that puts us, painting the basketball court, and then if I can get replacement rims, or he even said he's got some scratch and dent backboards that they really can't sell to like big organizations and stuff, but he said I can get them to organizations like parks and stuff at a good price. So again, just depends on where we're at with that, but he's gonna get me a quote on that too.
Okay.
So
All right. Yeah, and if, just out of curiosity, like let's say we move forward with it, do you have like kind of a pecking order that you're going to tackle these projects in? I assume the lining of the basketball court is number
yes,
one.
lining is number 1. The steps are number 2. The moldings would be the 3rd, and then we'll see where we're at with that,
for
and then
rims
I'll
and
see if
other
I can do
miscellaneous
rims
stuff.
and
Right.
backboard or whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just touch-ups. 2 of the buildings are pretty new because they just got put in a few years ago, but some of them have preceded myself, and they just over time have started to wear down. So safety concerns, especially with the steps. So
Yeah.
Cool.
that's about that.
Any other questions?
That was great.
All right, any motion?
No, we gotta save the park.
All right,
Sure.
appreciate that.
I'll make the motion.
All right, any second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any objections? No? All right, so what do we got, let's get on this agenda. That's 4, so we got our budget for,
Yeah, I didn't know, I just kind of took a chance if it would be
Sure.
ready.
oh,
Okay. That's fine.
no, haven't seen that. Administration update. I don't think we have any with business or anything like that. I'm trying to
So,
meet.
I know
Go
we
ahead.
had.
For admin update, the CPC plan.
Yep.
So it has no progress been made on that, but I do have like a couple of really proposals, but just a little bit of information of companies that do this.
Sure.
So they're kind of in that packet. There's one for DB Land Use Planning, and this was another one, Platinum Partners. So this one was more the woman I talked to, which I actually have worked with her for a brief time. I am no longer working with her, just to put that out there. Probably more like a price for the plan.
Mhm.
This one is more like per hour, which I thought was a little pricey, $200 an hour.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
just
did
a
they-
lot of people just, these companies are really not interested in kind of doing this. It's kind of like a small little plan.
Yeah, yeah. Do you happen to have an extra copy of the plan paperwork?
This one?
The regular
Yeah.
agenda and stuff, yeah.
Oh,
He was-
I just, oh, is it in here?
Yeah.
Oh, my mistake. I apologize.
I wasn't sure if
It's
the
literally right in front of
proposals
my
would be here,
face.
so I kind of took everything.
I didn't know when she passed it out, if you were here yet.
Nope. All right. So Platinum Partners, you said they were quoting $200 an hour, but
Yeah.
no firm estimate on
On-
how many hours worth of work it would actually
Right,
take.
right.
And then DB was, did they give us a quote?
They didn't,
They did not.
so, but they did really break it down of exactly what they would be doing.
Okay. Okay.
Take a look at this, right? Take a look for another meeting. We gotta do.
Yeah,
Get
I mean, I
back,
think-
get back on schedule with our meetings too. I know.
Yeah, I mean, just discussing kind of next steps with this. I think that just having these two organizations that have given us some initial criteria and a rough quote is a huge step in the right direction. So great job, Captain, in getting this stuff pulled together. I guess what I'd be interested to see is essentially a either per hour or total project quote
Okay.
from DB.
Yep,
And then using the project timeline and scope of work from DB's proposal, posing that question to Platinum and just asking them, for this degree of work, what do you expect the overall time outlay and project cost to be? Because the $200 an hour price is nice, but it could be 800 hours of work, or it could be 20 hours of work, we just don't know.
Exactly.
So, yeah,
12 months. of that.
I think kind of using a synthesis of the two plans to get more firm overall cost estimates would be great. And the nice thing too is that, the CPC plan is relatively durable. I mean, they last for, we wouldn't need to read
Yeah.
another one for many, 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 many
right,
years.
right.
But I think it's required by
It is. Yeah.
state guidelines, right?
Yeah.
To be a CPC member. Okay. All right.
So definitely something we need to move forward with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Just-
think this has been great work already.
Mm-hmm.
And taking a look at the last page where it shows project timeline, it looks like following is an approximate schedule for the proposed services. DB will complete a draft of the community preservation plan within 12 months from date of contract, aiming for a review of the final plan with CPC May 2026. So we're looking at a pretty long timeline, but it's really just a question of
How many hours?
how many hours are they gonna put into it within that
Yeah.
timeframe? Because,
Yeah,
I doubt they're gonna have somebody working full-time, $2,000 or 2,000 hours a year on just this one project.
Right.
But, yeah, all right. And then it looks like, they have really a pretty expansive meeting schedule laid out. They're talking about initial meeting with us and town staff, interviews with town stakeholders, public workshops, or public hearings, however you term it. Present the final draft, and then present the draft and then review the final with the committee. So we're probably talking about over the course of 12 months, probably a dozen, 10 to 12 meetings total to get this done. So it's going to be an expensive
Yeah,
project for sure, but important.
yeah. Some time we'll have to put in also. So.
Yep.
Okay, so I will reach out and get a quote for the plan for this one and the same for this one.
Yep.
Yeah, one of them we we know the per hour rate, so that's one step in the right direction. Sure, it's gonna be somewhere in that ballpark.
And I guess essentially the question for Platinum is, you know, do they expect it to be a 12-month project or a 6-month project or what have you?
Yeah. All right, any other items? All right, I don't think we'll have, well, I don't know if we'll have to meet before finance or anything, before town meeting on these items or anything else, unless something comes up in between now and then.
Yeah, what's the next town meeting date? May.
Is it May?
Town meeting June
I was
2nd.
gonna
June
say, I thought it
2nd.
was
Thank you,
June.
June.
Wow,
Oh,
Yeah, June 2nd.
I didn't know that. That's
Yeah,
right, I
so-
didn't read it.
So maybe we try to, I know it gets into summer, but maybe like shortly after town meeting, we try to get together just to get a meeting and then maybe go from there.
I would say there's a pretty good likelihood that we're probably gonna end up having to meet one more time, just because it always seems to be that way. Select board has questions, FinCom has questions.
Want to tentatively set something up right now?
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and then if we don't need it, we don't need it,
Exactly.
you know, the way it is.
Let's see.
It seems like about 3 weeks prior to town meeting is about the sweet spot for the other boards to get their work done, so.
Let's see, so,
May?
Yeah. First week of May.
No, second week.
Mother's Day.
Yeah, 'cause it's already, we're already going into our
Go like May
our third
13th,
week. What day is that?
Tuesday?
Go
Just
for
put it
it.
in there for now,
Yeah.
Okay.
and want to say it like, say
So-
4:30 for now, something like that?
Let's do, it's probably not a good idea to do Tuesdays.
No?
We could do Monday, Wednesday, basically any other day that week,
All right, so let's do Wednesday, the
so.
14th.
Yeah.
So I know we do have a
Fine, yeah, just have
member from the
Conservation
planning board,
Commission.
and he can only
at
meet
6,
later.
so I could just bring that.
I think it was 5 or 5:30.
Yeah,
Well, we'll see him when he gets in.
yeah, I mean, at least if we have it planned ahead of time, we can.
Yeah.
All right, so
Make
we do, wanna
adjustments if
do, wanna do
needed.
5? If he can be there for 5, just
Yeah.
do that one for now, and if we have to adjust as it gets closer.
What day are we?
Was that?
The 14th?
Yeah.
14th? That
Should
should
be
be
Wednesday?
So what, the date, 14th,
14th, we'll try for, yeah.
at 4:30 or 5?
We're gonna do 5, so
5.
we can try to get everybody here.
Mhm. If we have to move it, we have to move it. Not the
Yeah.
end of the world.
We don't want on Cinco de Mayo or anything, so. All right. Anything else? Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, so moved. We are done.